So I see some new faces on here, so I'm super excited, you guys. And I will just start first and foremost by saying that this has been a crazy, crazy last couple of weeks for me. I've been moving. I've not had any help really packing or moving or anything like that. And it has just been crazy. On top of that, I've had a board meeting with the other company that I work for, and just getting things ready for that. And then I've been doing singing and entertainment. It's been really crazy. It's been a crazy couple weeks. So that being said, I just want to recognize some of you guys from last month. I know, Monique, you just had the most crazy, amazing month. You've signed up so many coaches and it's just done so great. So congratulations. And just really hit the ground running. I know Rachel's super proud. And I think you're doing just an amazing job. And I want to welcome the two, actually, I can't see everybody on here. Okay, so there's Ashley, but I don't know which Ashley that is. So if you guys want to unmute yourself, the newbies, and say, just maybe tell us like a couple things about you. Why can I not unmute? For some reason, I can't unmute y'all, so.
I unmuted myself.
Okay, go ahead. Just introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Susan, and I was introduced to this by Monique, and I'm a mother of one daughter, 7 going on 17. I'm a single mom, and I like fitness. I was doing CrossFit, I was doing Pilates, and now I'm just trying something different, and I really like this, and yeah, that's about it. Oh, and I'm 30 years old, so yeah, I mean, I don't know if that makes a difference, but thank you, Monique.
Awesome. What about Brittany? Are you there, Brittany?
I am. I just turned my camera on. I'm a mess. I also have my Texans hat on, so sitting in my bed like others as well. But I live in Austin, Texas with my dog. I work full-time for the University of Texas and was just kind of looking for accountability and to kind of do on the side for fun, and this seems like a great group, so thank you for having me.
Awesome. We're happy to have you. And I'm sure you guys know, and I just saw somebody, oh, Ashley joined. Ashley, do you want to introduce yourself? Oh, there you are. Okay. Hi.
Hi. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I just signed up today with Brittany, and I've actually known Brittany since the 3rd grade, so we go way back. But I am a mother of 3. I stay at home right now. I actually have an in-home daycare. So I'm home with my kids plus a few others, and my husband is graduating law school in December. So we're pretty busy. I'm also in school, but this is something that I thought really fit us. I just recently actually did a challenge, just a small little 5-day challenge, and saw great results. I've always loved Shakeology, so I thought it would be something that I would be good at and something I would be passionate about, so here I am.
Awesome. We're so happy to have you. And because there's a lot of new people on, I'll just give you guys just a quick snapshot, and I'd love for Rachel and Monique to give a quick snapshot as well. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. But anyway, so I am Lauren Wilde, and I'm the founder of Team Wilde Republic. And like I said earlier, and for some of you that might not have been on, it's been a really crazy last couple of weeks for me. It's just been a lot of transition. And that is why I have come to love this business so much, is because I am the type of person that I stick to my power hour every single day. And for those of you that are very new, we will get to that. Your coach will get you to that, so don't feel overwhelmed. But I'm somebody who always reaches out. I'm always inviting. I'm always adding to my network. And for the last couple weeks, I don't know that I've really done a power hour at all for almost 2 weeks. And that's a really hard truth for me. But I have stayed the same in rank and stayed the same in money because I have this amazing team of women that work so hard every single day. And what I love about that is when everybody else in this group has a hard week or is struggling or feels like, oh my gosh, I don't feel like I'm getting through to people, or just kind of has those tough times, there's everyone here in the group to come beside them and say, oh, I've totally been there, or I haven't been there, but okay, maybe let's reach into what you're doing different, or here's what I'm doing. Or I've had women in this group reach out to some of the other women and say, hey, I know you don't have time to run your own group right now. I'd love for you to just come into my group, have all your girls start with me. And I always say this is a really I do, we do, you do type of business. And it basically means that, when you're first getting started, and you guys that are new, you're so blessed to have these women as your sponsor coach, because a lot of people who start and who are really excited about it, whether they're excited about health and fitness or whether they're excited about starting something new for their life and their family and kind of finding freedom in their finances, they don't have an upline. They don't have anyone to go to and to reach out to and to ask for help. And so I would say, and I'm sure the other girls would say, that my favorite part about our team is that we are so open to helping others. We are so, into just rallying together, being there for each other. And like I said, for the last couple of weeks, I've been pretty MIA, and that's a weird feeling for me. But I finally had to just kind of let that go and know that that's the beauty of this business, right, is that I could take time and focus on what I needed to that was very urgent in the moment. And I didn't lose anything. I didn't lose any ground. I didn't lose any motivation. And I can jump back in it. And for me also, and I think you guys will find too, having an at-home business, calls like these, even though sometimes your kids are crazy, you're teaching a class, or you're, you've got work and things are piling up, but you take the time and you get on these calls and you leave these calls being either inspired or motivated to do more, or it just kind of like reignites that flame of like, this is why I love to do this. A big reason why I love coaching is the interaction with others. Sometimes when people say, what's your favorite thing about it? It's not necessarily the money or, the business building side of it. It's getting to know more women. And being in our 30s, it's so difficult to meet people all the time. And it's just so fun to have people that really do care about you and that really come alongside you where you are and where you want to be with your goals and have similar goals and can really help and be there for you. So just really quickly about me, I started coaching January of 2015. Literally, it was like, Happy New Year, and I became a coach. I researched it for probably, I don't know, I want to say like 19 hours or something, just YouTube video after YouTube video. And just finally it was like, yeah, I want to buy Insanity anyway. I heard Shakeology was great. And I basically had the thought that the day that I am paying for my product is probably the day that I'm going to stop coaching. So my very first week as a coach, I made $560, I think, as a coach. And it was kind of like, oh, I can definitely get free product. Awesome. I'm just getting money back, and just kind of got addicted to people's stories that were just like, oh my gosh, I needed to lose 100 pounds. I lost 30 in your 21-day group. I've never stuck to something this much. And I think you newer coaches are going to see how good of a feeling that is to hear from people just that, they've lost weight or that they've stuck to something that was hard for them. Like a lot of people just say, God, I've never stuck to a plan for 21 days. I could never even complete something for 21 days. And then it kind of gives them the power and the strength to be able to stick to other things for a time period and have bigger goals. So a lot of things that we do and talk about here in this team is not just about health and fitness. A lot of it is about goal setting. It's about personal development, which for some of you newer coaches, that is a vital behavior of our business. So it's inviting, being a product of the product, and personal development. And to me, I've never worked anywhere where the CEO said that personal development is the top 3 thing that's going to make him successful is for me to grow myself and learn more about myself and take time for myself. So that's a big part of what I love about it. I became a diamond coach in like 68 days or something, and I'm still a diamond coach. So for all of you guys that are Googling and all of that, I was in qualifications for 1 star, and things just get crazy, and I dropped qualifications. But I have a diamond on my team who's Rachel right there, and I'll be in qualifications again. So that's another thing that I want to stress to you guys is we are a really strong team. We're in the top 0.3% in the entire company, Team Wilde Republic, and we're a diamond team. So when you're Googling and you're finding 15-star diamond teams and superstar diamond teams and all this, really plug into what that means. And a lot of those people have been doing this 5, 7, 8 years. And they've really grown their teams, but they're still in like the 0.1%. We're in the 0.3% in the business. So it's really exciting where we are right now. We have a group of women on this team that, and I always say this, but like does attract like. I've heard people on Monique saying, "Hi, Ashley.
Hello.
How are you?"
Good. How are you?
Good. Welcome. We're just talking about teams and ranks and things like that right now. So I just was saying that there's like does breed like. Oh my God, she's so adorable. Hi. And that, you know, people are going to be attracted to you. So as we're going into this and ramping up into this, what we call in our business, like this busy time, which is January. It's, you know, New Year's resolutions. It's, you know, getting into spring after December. People are looking to, you know, if I'm going to be on a beach somewhere, what am I going to look like? That kind of thing. So I would say, and for all you new coaches, and we've said this before, but our busy time is from like the end of December to probably about June or July. It is hot. It's a busy time. Then there's like August, September, October are not so busy. So don't be discouraged because people are still knocking it out of the park, you know, in these slower months. But I would say is that, you know, you guys are starting at a really, really great time because you're starting where we're going to be doing a lot of training on pushing to build rank. And that might not mean anything to you right now, but what it means is leads. It means some random person who bought Shakeology now becomes your customer, and you can reach out to them, and they may become your best friend. You don't know. It becomes when you're building in rank, when you're hitting emerald or you're hitting diamond, you're growing. You're being able to go from that kind of fitness motivator, which I love that part of it too, but then you kind of become this leader. You know, I'm seeing it with girls on our team. I'm just going to point out these two girls on our team, Monique and Rachel, which I'm sure one of them is your coach if you're new joining. You know, they have really stepped into leadership roles. They've been doing videos. They've been reaching out to people, motivating people, you know, doing their own personal development and kind of talking about how that's worked for them and how they've advanced. So I think that's a really cool part of it, is more than just being like this fitness and health motivator and kind of go-to person. You also become a leader, and you kind of, part of that is you become a leader by your own personal development and what you learn a lot about yourself. You may learn that you're insecure. You may learn that you're not vulnerable, or you're scared to tell your story, all these things. You know, you may learn that this is such a great thing for you and this is the right thing for you and you're so glad you stepped into it. So personal development is going to be huge. But in these big months up ahead, I want to stress, and we say this a lot in Beachbody specifically, but telling your story is so important. And what I got kind of off on a tangent, but what I was saying is, like with Monique, you know, she's a single mom. I'm a single mom. You know, I always hear a lot of people that join her team are single moms. Me too, or at least people that had a story that was similar to mine. Rachel and I have a similar story, but not a totally similar lifestyle. So that's another thing that I want to encourage you guys to do. It was really scary and hard for me at first to tell my story, and for those of you that don't know, it's that I was married and pregnant and left Canada where I was living 4 months pregnant because I was in an abusive, crazy relationship, and it was a scary thing. I left there, I got a job 5 months pregnant. You know, it was something that I was like, this is not how I saw my life going. I was married. I saw us, you know, bringing, you know, both contributing to our income and all these things. And it was something that I had to overcome. But once I started sharing that and I started telling people, you know, like, wow, in just 3 months of working this business, I'm able to have my Beachbody money supplement my son's daycare. I'm so glad that I get to do that. And I don't have to work overtime. I don't have to work extra hours. I just have to work at home in my sweatpants doing this. But I shared my heart in it. I shared that, you know, 4 years ago, I never would have thought that when I was living in Canada, that I would be divorced, single mom, and it happened. And so, you know, what was I going to do? Was I just going to say, God, that was a bad hand I got dealt and hope something changed? Or was was I going to make something for myself? And luckily for me, I had a really, really good corporate job. I had been in a career that I was always in sales. It was very lucrative, but took me away from my son a lot. And I felt a lot of guilt about that. So for me, a big reason why, why I chose to get into Beachbody coaching is because it gives me the opportunity not to have to be away. Now I work a job for a little bit of supplemental income that, I'm allowed to be home. Tomorrow I'll be home with my son. I'll be home Thursday and Friday working from here. So I'm still working for sure, but it gives me a lot more flexibility. I quit my job where I had to work all these, whining and dining hours out at night, and that kind of thing. And also Beachbody gave me the kind of oomph that I needed to not have that fear and not be trapped by fear of, this identity of my job and having to provide and everything. It was a really, really freeing thing for me. And so I just want to say, where's my phone? Because I feel like it's getting really choppy. Okay. So I just want to say, you guys, be sharing your story. And if you are not sure what your story is, if you're like, I don't know, I have a pretty easy life and, I kind of like my job, love my husband, love my kids, life is good. Really think about what fired you up when somebody told you about this opportunity. What made you go, oh, that is awesome. Was it the time home? Was it the flexibility? Was it maybe you're a stay-at-home mom and it was the opportunity to contribute to your family? Was it you don't want to be chained to a desk? Was it that, in 5 years at your current company, you maybe get a 5% raise every year, and in Beachbody you can get a 400% raise every year? We've got, our direct upline coach, Brandy Botts, in her 3rd year became a $1 million a year earner. And so I just want you guys to know how close you are to that. She's a personal friend of mine. I know some of my coaches haven't met her, but will meet her. She was super shy, super timid and scared, and not somebody that you would think would just blow it out of the water in her own business, and she has. Tenfold. She's about to go, I think she's 9-star in her second CDC. Which is her second business center. She's 15-star in her first. She's been in the top 25 for the last 5 years since she started as a coach. So we have all of her templates and information and experience and know-how, and we use that. We get to be part of her team calls. We get to have roundtables with her whenever we need them. This year, we'll also have Brandy sit in on our Wilde Republic calls. So you guys are going to get that experience up close and personal. Hold on, you guys. I'm having a really bad connection, so let me try and make a move here. Okay. Hopefully this gets a little bit better. Anyway, you guys, so I just want to tell you a little about me. And kind of why I do what I do. And then I want you to hear from Monique and Rachel as well. I'm going to save that and actually want you guys to maybe host a call in the next couple weeks with all of us on here, because I think that's really important for you guys to hear from these girls. They have different stories. They've been doing some amazing things, and it literally kind of brings me to tears when I think about how quickly they've kind of taken this on and how many people they've been able to help. It's really amazing. So I also want to just kind of get started, and since there's so many new people on, just want to let you guys know, I usually would share my screen, but I think my computer might die soon. And again, usually I'm not the scatterbrain. This has been a crazy couple weeks. But I want you guys to Google a YouTube. It's a TED Talk by Simon Sinek. And he basically came up with this why power story. And I'm about to do a talk on this actually at a corporate motivational, basically like managers training. And it's basically, he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And he says that over and over again. People don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And he brings up Apple, and he says, Apple doesn't say, we have beautiful screens, they're shatterproof, we make a great product, want to buy one of our computers. Instead, they say to us, we believe in pushing the status quo. We believe in doing things differently. We believe in looking at things from a different perspective. The way we do that is we've created these so-and-so products that are beautiful to look at, that are easy, they're efficient. Want to buy one? And he was saying that's what makes people buy into Apple. Dell makes the same products, but we think of them as a computer store. And we think, why would I buy an iPad, or why would I buy an MP3 player from a computer store? But we do it every single day. We buy it from Apple every single day. That's exactly what they were. They've just created such a brand and such a relatable lifestyle behind their product that we think we can't go anywhere else. Why would we? They don't get us. And he talks about the why holds a part, basically is a part of your brain that comes up with decision making that also is not affected by our language. So he basically says that's why we say things like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel right in my gut. Or I just have a gut feeling. That's not it. It's that your why section of your brain that makes decisions also is not controlling your language, so you can't quite come up with the words for why you feel the way you do and want to make that decision. And that is what you guys should be selling, whether you're doing this as a hobby coach or not, because we don't want to sell. I don't want to sell a product. I don't want to sell Shakeology to someone. I want to sell that since I was 11 years old and I was the biggest kid in my school forever, which is a true story, that I felt like the fattest person. I had boobs when I was about 9. I started my period when I was 9 in elementary school, and I felt horrible. I felt fat, ugly, gross. And I also felt really bloated. So when I felt that, I felt fat. And for me, Shakeology has changed my digestion so much that even if I gain a couple pounds or whatever, I feel so good. My body is getting fed. I don't feel bloated. I don't feel like my clothes are tight. I feel like I have energy. And so for me, nobody can tell me that Shakeology is too expensive, because I can't personally put a price on that. So now there might be people who don't identify with that, but and if you're telling your story, if you're not just saying, I love this shake, it's really healthy and you're going to love it, right? Do you want to buy it? But if you say, I was really skeptical about this, and when I started, and this is a true story from someone else, I had rosacea all over my face, and it's the only thing I changed, and it completely went away. Or a friend of mine lost 5 pounds without even working out because she'd been eating so bad before. She finally started fueling her body with what it needed, and it flushed everything else out. So that's another thing. If you guys feel like you don't have a why or you don't have a story, find someone else's. Get to know them. Reach out to them. Ask them, what was it that they changed or how they did what they did. But for me and for all of you guys, I'm sure I'm in this business because I felt like God was calling me and saying, you love health and fitness, and you've been always wanting to change people's lives and to help people in some way. And for me, I sometimes don't even feel like it's through health and fitness. I feel like it's through telling my story about my struggles and bad things that I've gone through, or, waters that were really hard for me to navigate. And in that way, I relate to people, and people can say, oh my gosh, I'm going through a divorce right now, and I have my 3-year-old child, and I just had to move back in with my parents. And sometimes they don't purchase because they're looking to lose weight. They purchase because they're like, this made you feel better about your life. This gave you a spark. Maybe it will give me one too. And like I said, we don't all have the same story. We don't. But get really in tune with your story and why you want to do this, or even why you want to lose weight or get healthy. That might be your story. It might not be a business story, right? Get really in tune with that and share it as often as you can. And that's how you're going to share this opportunity and these challenges and these things with other people. You're going to share. You're not going to be selling. And Monique, I know, is a rock star salesperson. And she knows this just as much as I did. I used to be in sales as well. You're going to do your best sales over a couple cocktails or at the golf course or, wherever you are relating to the person that you're talking to. You're not going to close the deal every single time at a boardroom table. Mostly not. It's relational. It's people get you, they understand that you get them, and then they just go off from there. It becomes whatever you're selling or your product almost becomes insignificant. And what's so great for us is that our product is life-changing, all of it. Whether it's the energy boost, whether it's the performance, for people that really are like CrossFitters and work out hard, our performance line would be perfect for them. So I would say get really acquainted with all of our products. And if you're just doing Shakeology in a program, maybe ask your upline coach or me, You know, can I try a sample of the boost? Can I try a sample of this performance line? You know, so I can understand what this is, because you might know 3 people that own gyms across the nation. You know, I might want to say, like, people are selling Advocare in their gyms all the time, and I think it's hilarious because it's so unhealthy. You know, but if you get out there and you tell them, like, you know, these are the kind of products that we have, like, would you want to rep this to, you know, your own customers and that kind of thing. You know, instructors, we have programs where you can become a PIO instructor. I'm a PIO instructor. Monique's soon to be a PIO instructor. You know, she's a Zumba instructor. You know, we've got size.
It died, I guess.
I guess Lauren fell off because she ran out of internet.
Or battery. She said it was about to die.
You want to text her?
I don't have her number, Rachel.
Should we get on Facebook and message her?
No, I think Rachel's gonna
Okay.
text her. I'm sure she knows she fell off. She'll probably try to get on as soon as she can. Hi, Madison.
Hi. She looks familiar.
Does she?
Yes.
Did your daughter go to Millsap?
No, she's gone to Robinson. She's getting all shy now because she saw him.
Okay, well, Lauren says for us to finish it out, so I guess I'll just go since I'm already unmuted. We were talking about our why story, and so my story is kind of a long story, but how it started was I was going through a bad breakup, and I was really depressed. Get out. I was really depressed, and I was just down on myself, and on top of that, I had some, like, body image issues. I would always be so hard on myself because I grew up in a household where my grandmother would tell me, if you're fat, I'm going to stop loving you. If you I don't like fat people. And so I grew up with this mentality, and, you know, my mom was the same way. You're eating too much, you're going to get fat. So I was always really hard on myself, and I swear I would gain 2 pounds, 3 pounds, and I would just be so depressed and so down on myself. And so it really started, like, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm going to get into church. I'm going to start praying. I'm going to really start changing my life. And so that's what I did, and it was all small steps. And then I started, you know, working on myself and then getting into health and fitness, and that's kind of when I found Rachel's Instagram, and I kind of just started following what she was doing. And once I got into Beachbody coaching, I wasn't that into it to begin with, honestly. I was like, yeah, I'll try it, whatever. If I make a sale, cool. If I don't, not a big deal. But then I really started getting into the culture, and that was being a positive person and getting into personal development. And that really was a huge game changer for me, and that was really the catalyst of why I wanted to be a Beachbody coach, because I saw the amazing changes that happened in myself, not only in my fitness, but in my positivity levels. And so I just wanted to, like, share that with everybody, and kind of like, you know, I brought Susan on, I brought Ashley on. I want to share this, like, positivity, like, that there's just more out there. It's not just about getting, you know, the flat stomach. It's just so much more. And the girls here, I mean, they're amazing. So that, in a nutshell, very quickly, is my why I do this. And I share that with people, and I think it speaks much louder than, hey, you want to try these shakes? Because no, I don't. But when you share people that how you've changed, it makes a huge difference. So that's me. Anyone else? Is she Can't hear you.
She may have to unmute herself.
Am I unmuted?
Yeah.
Okay. Y'all can hear me? Okay. Okay. So basically, getting into it about, like, coaching for me. My story is I worked in oil and gas for the last 6 years, and I've never really enjoyed it. If you know oil and gas, it's very male-dominated industry, and it's very, there's, like, a lack of respect there for women. So we're not always treated great. Even though my father works for the company, I still was never treated well. So I've never really liked it. And I've been there for 6 years, and after 6 years, I've only received probably like a 5% increase in my pay. It's like what Lauren was saying earlier. So I've never really gotten a really big raise or anything like that. And it's been super frustrating for me. And then this year, they put us on a mandatory furlough, which is great because half of us are losing our jobs. And so that means I had to take a 10% pay cut, and I had to take every Friday off. So, which sounds fine, but still a 10% pay cut when you have a 3-year-old and you have a mortgage and your car payment, I mean, that sucks. So Lauren approached me